This is writing equations in one variable, part 2. And so we're going to focus this time on writing equations from word problems. So whenever you're trying to write a one-step equation from a word problem, the first thing you want to do is read through your problem thoroughly. Figure out what it's asking you to do and identify the important information like numbers and what's happening in the problem. Then you want to find the total. The total is going to go on the right side of your equal sign. You have to have an equal sign in there because it's going to be an equation. If you don't know the total, you're going to have to pick a variable for the total. If you do know the total, then you're going to have to find out what is the piece of information that I don't know, but that I need to know, and you're going to represent it with a variable. Then you have to figure out what you would actually have to do to arrive at that total with the information that you've been given. Remember, there might be extra information in your problem that you don't need. The last thing that you should do is check and make sure that your equation makes sense in the situation. If it doesn't make sense, don't be afraid to try to fix it or start over. All right, so let's look at a problem. In this first problem here, it says 10 servers were decorating 25 tables for a wedding. Each table was decorated with 6 purple candles and 4 white candles. And they want us to write an equation that we can use to find the total number of white and purple candles combined. So I notice here there is no total. I'm trying to figure out the total number of white and purple candles. So I'm going to set up my equation here, but I don't know what the total is. So instead of writing down the total to the right of my equal sign, I'm going to put a variable. I'm going to use C. And C is going to stand for the total number of candles. So to get to that total number of candles, I have to first remember that every single table has 4 white candles and 6 purple candles. So combined, that would be 10 candles. But it's not just one table. There are 25 tables. So when I add this up, I want to multiply it by 25. So this would be per table times 25 tables. So that's our equation. Let's look at B. It says, after 2 rounds, 24 students are eliminated from a spelling bee. That means they're out. They spelled the word wrong. There are 96 students remaining. Write an equation you can use to find the number of students that started the spelling bee. So in this case, our total here, the amount remaining, is 96. And we are trying to figure out the number of students that started in the spelling bee. So I'm going to choose S. The variable you choose really doesn't matter. But this is going to be the number of students originally in the spelling bee. Just going to abbreviate and call it the B. So I know that there was a large number to begin with, and then 24 were eliminated, so I have to take out 24. That will leave us with our 96. Okay, let's look at another example. Charlotte received $33 for her birthday and 4 boxes of crayons. If she went to the bookstore and had $18 left over, write an equation to determine how much money she spent at the bookstore. Well, first of all, I see some extra information in this one. I don't care that she got 4 boxes of crayons for her birthday. All I care about is the money that she got and is spending at the bookstore. So she got a total of $33. So I'm going to start with that. What I don't know here is how much money she actually spent at the bookstore. So I'm going to pick M, and this will be money she spent at the bookstore. Okay, so we know that she had $18 left over. So she has some money left over, or money that she spent, sorry, this is money she spent, plus she has $18 left over. and that should equal up to her total of $33. So here's our equation. All right, this one it says students raised $373 having a car wash, $146 having a bake sale, and they need to raise $1,250. Write an equation to determine how much money the students still need to raise. Well, their total that they're trying to get to is $1,250. In this case, we don't have any extra information. We know that they raised $373 with their car wash, and they also raised $146 with their bake sale, but they need some more. They need to raise some more money. So I'm going to use M again. And M this time is going to stand for the money they still need to raise. They need it to add up to $1,250. All right, our last example here. You bake 5 dozen cookies for your class. Well, a dozen cookies is 12 cookies, so I made 5 dozen, so 5 times 12, that's going to be the total number of cookies I made. If every student gets 3 cookies, write an equation to determine how many students are in your class. So I'm going to use S because I want to know the students in my class, how many there are. So if I know all the students, they're each going to get 3 cookies. So I'm going to divide up all the cookies so they each get 3. And that should equal up to my total. So S divided by 3 is going to equal 5 times 12.